different career to a paralegal position. And how do you do that? Well, I had somebody ask me this question, and that was a person who is a nurse. I have nurses in my family, and so I would tell them this. And it is not hard to transition from another career, okay? Don't think about, well, I have, 2 or 3 degrees and this is what will get my foot in the door. Getting your foot in the door will be predicated on and dependent on how you're going to assist the attorney and how you tell the attorney that in your cover letter, number one, and during the interview. You have to do some convincing always, no matter what area you're coming from, what type of work you did. My background was in marketing as a marketing secretary in New Jersey, where I met my husband, and then later on human resources, and later on, and then after that, I owned my own business as a plant nursery owner for 4 years. I worked at my church for 3 years. So I had the basic skills, okay, of typing, filing, answering phones, organizational skills, okay? Those are your foundation skills. How are your computer skills? Mine were not great when I started. Okay, we had a Mac computer at home, which was really cutting edge, but the workplaces weren't cutting edge. They had PCs, which were really behind the Macs. So I had to take a step backwards, actually, and I had trouble with that. It was so not user-friendly. Much better now. Okay, so most of you have phones, which are baby computers. So your skills with your, let's say, Microsoft Word should be advanced, not just skidding by on basic. Go to YouTube and figure out what teacher you want to follow and learn from them. They have free classes all over YouTube. I don't put recommendations in. I want you to learn how to research, okay, and find that information, because that's what you'll be doing as a paralegal. We are information finders and problem solvers. So this is important. It's an important skill for you to have. Now here, a nurse going in, for instance, is just one example. I'll give you a couple more. I'm going to do a webinar more in depth about this, and I'll announce that soon. Nurses can go easily, more easily than any other position. They can go into personal injury, automobile accident law, workers' compensation law. Now I want you to go get the playbook on my website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com. I want you to download that. That's free. Okay, not enough of you are going to get that. You need to get it in order to go to the page. There's 7 or 8 pages. It's a PDF where I teach you some search terms to look up on Google for different paralegal duties. Okay, that is how you're going to convince the attorney. You have to learn some of those duties. And believe me, most of this is not taught in a 2-year program or a certificate program. And this is so much a part of what you need to know. How are you going to help the attorney? You're not going to be a lawyer. You can't give advice. You're going to be an assistant to the attorney. And that's what they need you to know if they practice family law. What do you do all day? What are your duties? That's what you have to research. So a nurse can make that transition, but still has a lot to learn, and you're probably not going to make as much money initially as you did in the nursing field. And that's what you have to come to grips with too. No matter what salary.com says about what paralegals make, that's a bogus number. Okay, that's a number that they mishmash all the salaries of 32-year veteran paralegals with beginner paralegals, and they average it out. That's not accurate. Okay, and I never quote salaries, so don't email me asking me that. It's impossible to do that. Somebody who was in teaching can go, and nurses can go into other fields as well, but the easier way to go in the beginning, and you're not trapped in personal injury or the ones I mentioned, but that's an easier path. Teaching can go into anything. Accounting, if you love numbers, go into finance law, or taxation, tax law, banking law. Bankruptcy would be a great one if you love to crunch numbers. If you don't like numbers, like me, I worked in bankruptcy, but it wasn't my favorite area because of that. I love dealing with clients. Some people don't. My background, we went over that. Foundation skills, we went over that. The last one is, what's your personality a fit for? What area of law? It's something to check out in my book, Legal Break-In. I have a chapter talking about that. That's something to consider. I don't want to be in bankruptcy anymore. I don't want to be in finance and banking law. I have worked in that. Taxation, tax law would not be for me at all. Again, it's crunching numbers, looking at spreadsheets, analyzing numbers. Nah, it's not, I don't have that interest. I'm a people person at work, okay? And I'm very much of an introvert, but I love dealing with clients and helping them. But helping them doesn't mean legal advice. It means just doing the work on their behalf that the attorney is assigning me, and helping them get answers through the attorney. Okay, so that is it for today. We're going to go into this more in depth in the webinar. Feel free to ask questions here if you have any other questions that we could incorporate into the webinar that you're wondering about. Love hearing feedback from you, so feel free to comment. I answer your comments, okay? And have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay tuned for an announcement about the webinar. It'll be over a couple days, only about an hour each day, and I think you'll really benefit from it. So have a great one. Talk to you soon.